This is Comic Geek Speak, episode 124.
Welcome to Comic Geek Speak. I'm Brian Deemer.
I'm Matt.
I'm Shane Kelly.
I'm Jamie D.
I'm Peter Rios.
Whatever life holds in store for me, I will never forget these words. With great power comes great responsibility. This is my gift, my curse. Who am I? I'm Spider-Man.
Hey guys, this episode is sponsored by Wild Pig Comics. WildPigComics.com. This is your last chance. They're celebrating their 6th year with their annual 24-hour 50% off sale from noon on Saturday, April 8th to noon on Sunday, April 9th. Every item on the sales floor will be 50% off. 30,000 back issues, over 1,000 trades, hundreds of statues, toys, and t-shirts, as well as thousands of 50-cent books from the 70s to the present. Also appearing will be indie artist Danielle Corsetto of girlswithslingshots.com. You can, they're located 14 South Michigan Avenue in Kenilworth, New Jersey, minutes from Route 22 East and the Garden State Parkway, exit 138. For further information and directions, go to www.wildpigcomics.com, and their number is 908-936-0004. This episode will air on the Thursday right before this sale. And on the phone with us, we have co-owner Chris and Ryan Darth Weasel on the forum. Hello, guys.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having us on again.
How you doing?
Very well, thank you. Yourself?
Good.
Excellent.
How's the buzz been for the sale?
Good as far as I can tell. Thanks to your podcast, I've gotten emails from people in other states. A guy from Ireland who was going to be in New York at the time. Instead of going to Midtown, he's going to come to our sale instead.
That's cool.
I believe that was Irish Lad on the forum.
Right.
Cool.
That's awesome. And anything new that came about? Oh, I should mention that if you mention that you heard it on the CGS podcast, you will get an extra $5 off.
Absolutely.
And that's great. That's really cool.
Do a little something back.
Out of our group, it looks like Shane and Matt and Shane's friend Brian are the only ones who are, unfortunately, the only ones who are going to be able to make it the rest of us.
We don't know about Kevin.
Oh, we don't know about Kevin, right? That's right. That's right.
The rest of you's bailed.
Yeah.
I didn't bail.
I know. Everyone has plans.
Well, thanks for making the trek. There'll be plenty for you guys to rifle through. So.
But that doesn't mean I'm not giving you money and telling you what I want.
I'm only lucky
we're going to get it for you either.
I only got lucky I didn't get scheduled to work that day.
Right. What's the setup? Like, you say you open at 12. You think you're going to have a line there? Or?
It varies. Some years we've had, tons of people waiting to get in at 12. Other times it's just very steady throughout the day. So,
can we get in at 11?
If you want to sneak around and knock on the back door, sure.
And what else is there other stuff around, like for anybody that's traveling out, like eating restaurants or anything like that?
There's a Dunkin' Donuts right around the corner,
That's
and then
perfect.
2 doors down there's a very good Italian hot dog place.
Cool.
Called Charlie's, which if you like greasy fried food, is the place to go.
Plus, you're only about half a mile from Route 22, and there is tons of stuff on Route 22. There's a Hooters right there on Route 22.
There you go.
There you go. Stop at Hooters.
I don't know if we're getting there on time, Shane.
And there's all kinds of restaurants and stores and all kind of stuff on 22.
Yep.
Chris, what have you been doing to prepare for the sale?
Not sleeping much. Basically the past few weeks especially, I've just been going through all of the collections I've amassed and separating out, what I'll call the main bin stuff versus like the 50-cent books, which is a monumental task, and pricing all the regular bin stuff and bagging and boarding and filing and organizing. Like, for example, 2 weeks ago I had like 6 people come in and we started filing books at 5. We finished around 1:30 in the morning.
Wow. Jeez.
So there's going to be more than enough for people to wade through.
Are your 50-cent boxes, are they in alphabetical order?
I was just going to ask
everything,
that.
Absolutely, because I've gone to sales in my life where they just kind of throw stuff out there. We want to go through it. Everything is alphabetized and in sequential order. in terms of issue numbers.
I don't have the patience to go through anything if it's not in alphabetical order either.
Yeah, by the end of a convention, I'm the same way. I'm like, you know what? If it's not in alphabetical order, I got to move on. I can't
absolutely.
Well, I'm just the opposite. I love the hunt. That's for me the 100.
I love hunting through alphabetical order.
yeah. I don't like wasting my time rifling through, crap.
I start hunting in a miscellaneous box. I get like halfway through a short box size. I'm like, all right, I'm done. Forget it.
Yeah, no, there's no miscellaneous. With a few maybe little quirks, but everything is in order.
So give us a few more enticements. You say you include high grade silver and bronze, and I know there's some listeners, if they are making the trek out, I'm not sure if these certain ones are, but that they like to go after some of those older books. Do you have anything on the wall right now to entice some people to get there?
Yeah, there's some good stuff on the wall. There's some Silver Age Spidey, some Silver Age Daredevil, some Silver Age Batman. I mean, honestly, my wall. I've just by coincidence sold a lot of wall books the past month. I put some new stuff up there, but I also put a lot of stuff in the bins that other stores have put on the wall. So they'll go through the bins. They'll find an Atom #2. They'll find a Man Thing #1. They'll find stuff like that in the bins in high grade.
Cool.
So there's really plenty. I also have a box of 1950s comics I just got in that I was throwing out there. They're all mid to low grade books, but they're nice books. So there's something for everybody basically.
Plus, you don't see things like Spawn #1 up on the wall.
No, not there.
A whole run of Cyberforce somewhere.
No, they're in the 50-cent bin.
Okay.
If they even make it to them, honestly. But.
What you said you amassed a whole bunch of collections. Was there something in there that people are just going to flock to? Or is it just all across the board, or what?
I mean, it's pretty much across the board, but there are definitely titles there's runs of more recent books that I'm sure people want to fill gaps in either their reading or their collection or what have you. I mean, and there's definitely we were joking about Image before, but I have I just got them the whole Spawn run, and I know there's going to be one person who's going to come in and just buy the whole thing. It's inevitable. So it runs the gamut basically. If you anything from the 70s and up, you'll find a lot of it in the 50-cent box.
Oh, I could finish my Amazing Man run.
we have it, believe it or not. It's there.
Of course you do. What about Captain Carrot? You have that?
He's in there, and
I'm missing some of those.
In there.
Nice. You said you have down here over 1,000 trades. You have essentials and showcases?
We've got basically every major DC and Marvel trade, all the essentials, all the showcases, all the key story arcs from all the major titles. They're all there. Take Batman, No Man's Land, Dark Knight, Hush, all that stuff is there. Same with all the other Marvel characters. We have a lot of Dark Horse and some Image and some indie stuff too. I try to have a wide variety of trades.
You're making Brian's head spin over there.
Yeah, all the key stuff. Every essential out we have. I think the only one we don't have right now is Marvel 2-in-1. I think we have every other essential.
Wow. That's the one I wanted. Now, guys, you're coming.
Well, you're not coming anyway.
But my money's coming. That's all you care about.
Showcase is half off. Oof.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a couple that I didn't get. But I had to pick up.
Yeah, trades. I mean, trades are one of my favorite parts of the business, so I really try to stock up on them in general. So there's a good selection. And how long it'll last past 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, though, is another matter. But
yeah.
There's going to be a lot.
Yeah, you guys better get there right at noon.
What about you have down Statue
We're not going to
Stores?
start shopping for you, Brian, until about 2. So
should I assume DC Direct and Marvel Legends and Bowen statues and things like that?
That's a good question. DC Direct we have a lot, especially because DC, and I wasn't thrilled about this, decided to release every figure they've made in the past year, in 4 weeks in a row. So we've got a lot of DC Direct. We've got a good amount of Bowen. Marvel Legends I really don't carry because, unfortunately, I used to, but I found that the toy stores get them 6 months before I do, and it was pointless to keep carrying them, so I don't really have any anymore. Because I just get stuck with them and nobody would buy them. So I have the Marvel, I forgot what they're called. They're Diamond...
Marvel Selects.
The Marvel Selects. We do have those, yeah. But the Legends I don't.
Cool.
People have to go to KB or Toys R Us for those.
Cool. Anything else you want to give out just for the last push? Are you going to have anything there, like food or snacks or anything?
Well,
or
only for the artists who are working on the back.
Oh, okay.
I don't want. And we thought about leaving food for people, but then I had nightmares of sticky hands while touching.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
We let jelly donut hanging over the back issue bins.
No, all I'll say is we've been working really hard since January, and it's a sale that most people really won't see in most other stores that they've ever been to. So I really think people will enjoy it, because I really value putting out good comics that are worth buying and good trades that are worth reading. So there's a lot of good stuff out there.
You said like trades and stuff. Did you mention like archives, hardbacks?
Archives I don't really carry because I order them when people ask for them, but they're so expensive, and I've had them in the past, and they just sit there collecting dust. So I really don't carry them. I have some hardcover stuff just to throw out. Like I have like the Rising Stars hardcover. I have the DC Paul Dini, Alex Ross hardcover, just so someone can go, oh wow, and they can get it at half off. But archives I really don't.
You have down statue toys and T-shirts. Do you have posters?
No, because I when I first opened my business, the poster display mechanism, we'll call it, was so prohibitively expensive that I didn't get it, and so I don't really carry posters, and they don't really release that many posters actually through Diamond. I've found over the years, so it's an area I've never really gone into.
Just trying to see what else is out there that people might be interested in.
There's a lot of statues.
Yeah, there's tons of statues. there's Bowen, there's the Diamond Select, there's Gentle Giant, there's Hard Hero.
I can't forget Hard Hero.
Yeah, unfortunate name. And there's a lot of T-shirts too. But the focus is definitely the back issues and the trades. That's the real anchor of the sale.
Right. So. Brian, 24 hours. You could go, later. You go at 11 at night.
I know. I don't.
You can come at 3 o'clock in the morning.
We'll be there. We'll be there. And the back issues definitely last. Like there's always plenty because there's so many throughout the 24-hour period.
I'll just give Shane my list and some money, and it's a short list. I can't spend a lot of money, so it's just I got a couple things in mind, and if they're there.
Yeah, Brian's not a big list guy when it comes to that trades and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not a big back issue type guy when I go to the shows and stuff either.
Do you have any of those
trades and stuff?
What's that? All-Star Squadron? Is that what
All-Star Squadron?
You got any of those?
You mean from the 1980s?
Yep.
Yeah.
We have a lot in the 50-cent bin.
That's perfect. That's that's what I'm hoping to.
We've got those,
and
I don't know if you recall, they did some like one-shots, I think, in the late 90s.
Yeah.
We have those too, and pretty much everything from the 80s up is in those 50-cent bins in some condition or another. If it's like quirky or it's there, because I know because we spent so many hours 2 weeks ago going through all of it, so it's emblazoned on my brain.
He even has, I saw the other day, Chuck Norris and his Karate Commando.
There.
Yes.
That'll go. Cool. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I just want to mention one more thing.
Sure, go right ahead.
I just wanted to plug the website real quick.
Yep.
wildpigcomics.com. We redesigned it a couple weeks ago. There's a whole bunch of new stuff up there. There's some video from when we were cleaning up after the flood from the very first store in Boundbrook. You can see the destruction, what wet comic books look like.
Oh.
And if you listen closely, you can hear the when you step on them. Plus, we have a couple T-shirts we're offering now through a company called Zazzle. One with just our Wild Pig logo on it, and another one with a let's say it's the new mascot for the store. We're calling him Danny the Fanboy.
Yeah, it belittles and ridicules a good friend of ours. So.
Yes. So he
he left a picture from his pubescent period in the wrong place, and we got it. So.
Yeah. So we used that against him, and so it's a little T-shirt, has his goofy-looking smiley face on it. It says "I Heart Comics." So.
And there's a map to the store too.
There's a Google map up there on the directions for the store. So if anybody needs to get there, go to the website, go to the directions. You can get your directions right from Google Maps, right there from the site.
Now, it's safe to say that you'll be there before noon, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, just
I close. I close.
We'd be there all night.
Yeah, I close early on Thursday. Start setting up. Then I go back on Friday. We're setting up through Friday night. So.
Okay, just in case if people do call and they know that somebody's going to answer.
We'll be there.
Great.
Okay.
Well, thanks a lot again for having us.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for having the sale. Look forward to. I know Shane and them are looking forward to going down there.
Yeah, it should be fun.
All right, we'll see you then.
Thanks.
All righty.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
guys. Take
See ya.
care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
www.wildpigcomics.com. That's from noon on Saturday, April 8th to noon on Sunday, April 9th.
We got an email I thought I'd share because Jamie will get a kick out of it. This is from Ultimate Justin, and he says he's a big fan, but he thinks Matt and Jamie stand above the rest. He thinks the only thing that could make the show better is more Mattitude. So Matt, and then he included a short poem. It says, "My name is Jamie D. You will respect me. The word of Jamie is never wrong. I'm about to show you how my pimp hand is way strong." So there you go. Poetry
Thank
on
you.
CGS.
Yes, thanks. I'll see what I can do for you.
Coppa Major Matitude.
Just don't start going, yo, man. No, none of that.
So we should go to our contest winner announcement.
Bum,
Dun,
bum,
dun, dun, dun.
bum.
This month was the photo contest, and we had a few selections, few entries, and the winner is I can't see that name.
Tyler Hilton.
Tyler Hilton, specifically for his Kent. Is it Kent Lane?
Kent Street.
Kent Street, where he's holding a baby,
baby
wrapped
Ken.
in a red blanket. Looks like Kal-El. Is it a real baby? It's not a real baby.
Yes.
is it?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah, because I zoomed in on it just to make sure it wasn't a baby doll. Because I thought I was cheating a little bit.
Oh, that poor kid. That makes it even funnier. So, Tyler Hilton, you are the proud owner of the first 4.
There's even a little blue in that, too.
There's a
Yeah,
what?
look, there's
Oh,
blue. in
Yeah, a
there.
little blue.
First 4 Walking Dead trades. He also submitted 2 other pictures. The Loeb, what is that?
Street.
Loeb Street. And he has a picture of, is that Batman's Hush? I mean, a comic of Batman's Hush he's
Yeah.
holding up. And Jameson
Street.
Street, where he's ripping a Spider-Man comic.
In half. That's good.
So there you go, Tyler Hilton. Send us your snail mail. We'll send those trades right out to you. Thanks again to Sandman300 for providing those trades. They are 4 softcover Walking Dead trades, the first 4. And they lead you up pretty much right to where
Yeah.
they're at right now. I think it goes up to either 24 or 25 or
Yeah.
something like that.
They just recently solicited the 5th trade. I think
Yeah.
it was
Oh,
last
so
That
maybe
was
it
last
doesn't.
month, yeah.
Oh, so maybe it
It's
only
still
goes up
very
to,
close, though. It's like
19
within
or
6 or
17, yeah.
What, that's 6 or 7 months, 8 months
Yeah.
tops?
Yeah, so you win the first 4, and then you can go out and order the 5th.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
awesome.
By the time you get those read, the 5th will be out.
Yep.
And also thank you for everybody else who entered.
It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun to look at those pictures.
And if you want to see what these look like, you just look on our news section on our website. We have them posted up there.
So no contest for April. Basically, the trivia thing out in Pittsburgh will take care of that. So if you're going out to Pittsburgh, you can join us for the trivia panel, and then we'll come back to you in May.
Yeah.
So
What
yeah.
he said.
What he said.
You got anything else?
Yeah, a couple more.
Couple
announcements.
Couple other things.
A while back, one of our sponsors was Make Like a Tree Comics, and they've had incredible feedback from the listeners and also on the forum. So thank you for that. And they also just wanted to give a little extra thing that if you go to their site, mlatcomics.com, both the front and their web comic Silver both have comics available for your PSP. So if you go to the front and go to Silver and the Periodic Forces, they will have the PSP link, and you can, on the navigation link below the descriptions, and it takes you to a page containing PSP ready versions of the comics on the site. So you'll be able to download right to your PSP. And that's this summer. Sarah and Jersey plan to release a brand new comics specifically formatted for the PSP. The pages are laid out in a Jack Kirby grid style, so 1/3 of each print page will be 1 page in the PSP format. In other words, an 18-page print story becomes a 54-page PSP story. Make sense? And like our other comics, it will be serialized online and collected in print. So check them out. They're giving their mission is to give readers as many ways to enjoy their comic as possible. That's mlatcomics.com.
Thank you, Peter. We're going to do the...
You're welcome.
You guys, anything else? You're going to do right to the main topic.
We'll go right in.
Preview time.
The new previews came out.
Oh,
For
yeah.
some of yous.
April for book shipping in June.
June.
Yep.
That's a good month.
That's because your birthday falls.
That's right.
It's another
Lots
big
of
month.
stuff,
Every
man.
freaking
Lots.
month. I just can't get a
lots
break.
Of stuff.
I cannot get a break.
I keep thinking, maybe
I get
this
no
month.
respect.
Wow. I'm just looking at my list. Somebody talk about something so I can count this up.
All right. Well, the first thing I noticed was from Dark Horse. You got the next trade paperback of Usagi Yojimbo. So anybody who's reading that, volume 20 trade paperback.
Ooh, 20.
Yeah.
I think we should do one of those one time.
Oh, I'd love to. That's a good idea.
I would love to. And the great thing about those is you can do any of them, and you don't have to worry about having read the ones before.
Right.
They're all
I've heard
standalone.
that.
They're all standalone stories. It's great.
I just tallied it up. I have 73 items if I get it all.
That's more than... Well, no, that's about average for
What'd
me.
you have last time?
You might have
66.
And you were all like, whoa, 66.
You might have to get an actual
73.
job.
No.
That's what Carlin
They're gonna have a
keeps telling
special
me.
truck just for you.
Yeah.
One thing I did notice in the DC, the Dark Horse section, I should say, and I kind of like raised my eyebrow at when we were out in San Diego last year. They had like a John Landis at the Dark Horse booth, and he was signing stuff, and I thought, oh, maybe he had developed a movie or he was working on a movie. And I see here that they came out with the John Landis biography by Dark Horse. So that it was just one of those things that I saw he was there signing, and I walked by, I was like, wait a second, that's John Landis. And then, so now I see why he was out there at the Dark Horse booth.
There's also Arch Enemies number 3.
I just
We
saw
met
that.
those guys out in New York. So issue 3 is... I'm pretty sure it's a 4-issue miniseries.
It is.
So that's from Dark Horse. Concept seems really kind of cool, so that's the 3rd issue of that.
If you're movie icon type fans, there's Steve McQueen, Charlie Chaplin, Oliver Hardy, and Stan Laurel figures by Dark Horse, movie icon figures. They're $25 each. Stand 7 inches tall. Come in a little movie tin mock-up.
Cool.
Shane will be buying a case.
Nah,
I kind of like
maybe Laura and Hardy.
I kind of like the Chinese Hellboy and Abe Sapien toys. They kind of look cool.
How does Dark Horse... like right here, you're getting to this where they... Why do they have these Marvel...
They get licensed to do that because those are the ones that go into the gumball machines.
Yeah.
Like Lem has outside
okay.
right inside the door
Yeah,
there.
the gotcha stuff.
Yeah. Impulse buy. And that's a totally different license than, say, like action figures or something. So
I'll tell you what, they sell real well.
Well, that's what I mean. It's funny that Dark Horse has that license. Why wouldn't Marvel have that license?
I don't
Or
know.
one of their tour companies or something like that.
Don't know. Underdog vinyl figure. Underdog.
Speed of lightning, roar of thunder.
Fighting those who rob or plunder.
Big thing for DC is obviously the DC Universe Brave New World $1 issue. Sort of like what they did with DC Countdown to Infinite Crisis way back a year ago.
Whopping 50 cents.
50 cents.
DCBS.
And it's
Hey. Oh,
Good.
go ahead.
I was going to say, it's a preview. There must be some kind of story to it, but it's also a preview for some new titles that are coming out. Creeper and Freedom Fighters and the new
Shazam.
Atom, Shazam, Martian Manhunter, and there's another one that I'm missing.
Shadow Pack? No, that's not.
No.
Martian Manhunter, OMAC, Uncle Sam, Freedom Fighters, The Creeper, the all-new Atom, and The Trials of Shazam. Judd Winnick does The Trials of Shazam. The all-new Atom is by Gail Simone. Art by John Byrne. The Creeper is Steve Niles with art by Justiano and Walden Wong.
Guy.
Uncle Sam is Justin Gray and Jimmy Palmiotti with art by Daniel Asenia. OMAC is Bruce Jones with art by Renato Guedes. And AJ Lieberman is Martian Manhunter with art by... why can't they have American names? Al Bornuevo and Bit.
Here come the emails.
Remember, that's Jamie D. and Comic Geek Speak.
You know, all these Spanish and Spanish surnames are killing me.
I didn't realize we had Daniel Carver here.
I don't say I hate them.
Brian,
mine's D'Alessandro. I mean,
You're right at that page with the Chronicles
Yeah.
Volume 2. Finally.
Yeah, say a year and a half.
All right. The cover to Action Comics. What's with Superman's face?
I don't know. I can't see it.
I think he looks totally disproportionate.
Oh, that's awful.
Let me see here.
That's a Dotson cover? That doesn't look like a Dotson
Yeah.
cover.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I
It's
can
not
see
a good
that.
Dotson cover.
No.
His head's puny.
Puny head, huge body.
It's Beetlejuice.
Obviously, the new Flash, new Wonder Woman. Is everybody getting those? I mean, they're so
Yeah.
discounted.
Yeah.
74 cents. You almost have to.
We'll probably release the first issue. I really have been trying to cut back.
It's impossible. Oh my god.
Yeah, I
Honestly,
know.
it's not. I've just decided I've got to do it, and I do it.
Do it.
I think that. And
I look at the list and then I go, well, I
don't
don't know what the hell I'm supposed to cut out.
I
There's
just
nothing
don't.
there.
I just don't start. That's the whole thing.
I already
that's
don't
true.
drink, don't smoke. What
I
the-
actually, when the Ion came out, and I was like, oh, okay, it's a 12-issue miniseries. Maybe I should wait. But I've already ordered the first 3 now, or first 2, because the first one was 74 cents. It
Well,
was,
the first ones I am getting sucked into. I will admit, I go through and just about anything that's 75 cents. I can't say no to. I even get like an extra issue to bring in here for prizes for our contests.
Pretending he's a big spender for the show.
Yeah. Well, none of the other punks are coming up with anything.
Well, he's taking that extra more matitude to heart, isn't he?
That's right.
But come on, Ion.
Hey, I did cut down. I dropped Demon.
Ion's got friggin' Mogo on the cover of it. I heard.
Who?
Mogo, the Green Lantern planet. And there's a new Green Lantern Corps series and
Yeah, I kind of just wanted to see that because I've been enjoying the
miniseries.
the miniseries, and I was like, oh, hope this will be over. I won't have to get it now.
Well, you know what? That kind of irritates me. Why don't they skip the miniseries and just make it into the series?
I like to see sales.
Yeah,
To be honest with
see
you.
how it. See how it.
I'd rather
flushes
see
out.
them do that, the DC do that, than what Marvel's doing by bringing out a series like The Thing, and then going to Dan and saying we're going to cancel it if you don't get the sales up. Why don't you just come out with a mini series, see how the sales are? If they warrant it, then go with a series. I've always thought that's a better way to do it.
Sort of like when they finally brought Harlequin into the Batman universe. Boom, she got her own series.
Yeah.
And it was like, what?
Yeah,
You
they
know?
didn't need to do that.
Yeah, that was a total
They could
waste.
come up with a mini series. Although my sister loved it. Harley Quinn, she loves anything.
Did you see the solo book, Brian?
Yep. Gru,
Oh, yeah.
and,
I saw that.
Sergio.
You didn't get the House of Mystery showcase, right?
No.
There's a lot of Sergio stuff in that.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
But the
I didn't know
whole
if you
thing
know.
doesn't interest me.
Okay.
It's grew and only grew.
Nice showcase, Elongated Man. For all of you who want to read, all of yous. I can't believe I just said yous.
All yous guys.
All yous guys who wants to read the Ralph Dibny stories.
And that's another one that where would that ever be reprinted again? I mean, it's
Yeah.
if you're a fan or you just want to read them, most of those were back
The
Backup stories.
stories,
and
yeah.
to Flash and to Detective Comics.
So I guess the big controversy we were discussing earlier is to buy or not to buy Absolute Kingdom Come.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me and Jamie talked about it briefly, and he said about how he wants to see the art. That's the one argument that I would like to see the art bigger, but I don't know.
$45 is your discount.
Yeah, I'm such an Alex Ross fan.
that's not the
This-
discount.
Well, not the discount, but
$45
that's what it'll
what it
be
costs
after
after
the
the
discount.
Cost after the discount. And I'm such a huge Alex Ross fan. It's just, it's killing me because I'm looking at it, and what I may wind up doing is going to my sister and saying, hey, birthday present, you think,
It's not delayed.
if you might want to get it, then that way I'll order it, and then she can give me the money for it.
I
But
see Shane has taught you well.
Yes, I'm learning from the master.
Buy this for me now, and there's some holiday coming up that I know you can give it to me.
You just do that a few hundred times, and you got a good backlog then.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have. This is like the first time I've even thought
Oh
about
my god, I've been doing that for about 10 years.
I mean, the only thing about it is I don't have all that other supplemental material because when they did the slipcase edition way back when, and they had the second
Yeah, I
book,
didn't
the
get that.
Revelations, I didn't get that.
I didn't
So
get that.
it's included in this, and
I did get
some of it is included.
I
in
did
this.
get the hardback version of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Like instead of the trade, I got the hardback.
It's
It's just that artwork at that size is going to be gorgeous.
Well, yeah, and it is in all those tabloid size things. I mean,
I know my initial thought was, when he did the tabloid thing, he knew that's how big this stuff is going to be. So, it's almost like I really want to see the pages first to see if it really does look good before I purchase it. But
I know it's going to because that's the size that he does stuff on.
he does it that big and they reduce it.
Yeah,
but I mean, there's one thing about doing artwork for knowing that the tabloid side is going to be big. So he does those tabloid books are not different, but the panels are longer. But he knew Kingdom Come was going to be in a traditional comic book size. So the layout is different. So not that it's going to look horrible blown up. I just wonder, will it really be as effective blown up just a little bit as opposed to when he was drawing the
I think it'll
tableau
I think it'll be
stuff.
even more effective, truthfully. 'cause
Maybe.
I think you'll be able to see all the detail that he's put into it that may have been a little mushed down, and it'll now become a little bit clearer. You'll see some stuff.
I don't know if it matters to him when he's actually painting it. I don't know.
No, because his layout is very different in those tabloid issues than it is to Kingdom Come.
But is that because of Paul Dini's storytelling, or
No,
because...
it's because he has panels that go across the whole thing, and like he has these long diagonal. If you ever look at the JLA story, there's like a long diagonal. There's one thing where it's like a 2-page spread of this, and it's all cut up into diagonal.
Yeah.
And the Batman War of Crime. There's like a whole thing up. So it's different.
It would make sense for an artist to say, "Hey, this project is a giant-sized book, so I will paint it."
Well, I'm
Right.
not disagreeing, but how's that different from a good splash page that somebody does?
very different because it's.
Well, if Alex Ross paints on like a canvas that's like 3 feet by 2 feet, what's the difference if he paints a splash page for a tabloid issue or a splash
No,
page?
I don't mean his process of painting. I mean his design sense is going to be different. Not the materials he used, not anything like that. Is that what you mean?
No, but why would it matter if he's painting it all the same size to him?
Because he knows it's going to look
Because
different.
it's not a comic book size. It's tabloid size.
I don't.
Oh, it does. It makes a big... Because I know some people even mentioned about that in some of the interviews where we talked about where, like the difference between coloring... doing pencil work for black and white and doing pencil work for color and certain size things. It does... It's
none
very
of those
different.
books look like comic books.
No. Traditional comic book
Right.
layout.
None of
Yeah.
them. I mean, I never got that impression. I never confused it for reading a comic book.
And
it
like
was
the-
definitely a thing unto itself.
Yeah, because they're almost like illustrations with captions as opposed to...
Yeah,
as-
exactly.
But again, was that something that they decided to do for that, or
Yeah.
That's exactly
Oh, I would
what
think they would
we're
have
saying.
to. Yeah.
okay? But
Yeah.
never mind. I'm gonna get ticked.
From Vertigo, Gilbert Hernandez has a hardcover coming out called Sloth. If you're a Love and Rockets fan, this may be up your alley.
Who did... Oh, go ahead. Do you have something else?
Chunk.
No?
Look for is it Wildstorm where Andy Diggle's Silent Dragon is there's a trade paperback. It's probably after I think you might have passed it because I saw that as it was coming out and I was really big fan of his Adam Strange. Is that it right there?
Silent Dragon?
Silent Dragon.
Yeah.
And I saw that and I was like, this kind of looks interesting. I saw that as it was coming out, but I didn't pick it up. So I thought that might be kind of interesting to pick up. And it's only $11.99 from $19.99. There's also a Superman Our Worlds at War. Are they labeling it as like almost like a complete edition?
Yeah.
$24.99, basically collecting the 2 trades that they had put out before into one.
Did they just do it with Age of Apocalypse as well?
Did they?
Yeah.
And
Did
it,
they?
Yeah. You can get the trades into just one.
But I thought there were going to be more than 2 trades.
yeah, I think.
Yeah, they
No,
didn't.
I saw somewhere that you're supposed to get the complete. Something
Well,
similar.
I think they're.
where it's-
I think it's called the complete
yeah.
Age of Apocalypse,
But
but
it's-
then
that's
they're going to
volume
have.
2.
Yeah, they're going
Yeah.
to have like a whole bunch of volumes. And that Superman one is if you've never read it, it's $14.99 after the discount. And it's a decent story. So if you want to get it all in one place for $15 for that much, it's almost worth it. Anybody else have anything DC, Vertigo, or whatnot?
Yeah, I have the Fables number 50, which I had to laugh at the ad.
Just
It
read
says you are cordially invited to attend the gala celebration of, and you see Bigby and Snow White, and then there's like a post-it note over it that says, Bill, I don't think it's a good idea to promise this sort of story considering what really happens in this issue. Think about it, okay? Your favorite editor, Shelley, and it just, because it looks like a big wedding issue between the two, and that would be, I think, a stretch. But I'm looking forward to it. It should be a lot of fun. Should be a hoot.
A hoot nanny. Let's see if there's any.
I see the DC Direct figures that they're re-releasing. I don't know why out of all the Wonder Woman figures they chose that one to re-release.
Is that like her
The one
first
with the
appearance
stick up her
one or
butt?
something like that?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the Golden Age with that 2-pack
Yeah.
with Donna Troy. That's just an odd choice.
Another reason I'm rolling my eyes on this one, not so much the comics, but my sister's Christmas present I'm going to have to buy. I've been waiting for it. She loves Harley Quinn. She's a huge Harley Quinn fan. I buy everything Harley Quinn, and the Adam Hughes Women of DC Universe Harley Quinn bust is out. So, nice thing though, it looks like it'll be right in time for Christmas. So I'll have something to give her for Christmas.
I was surprised when I saw those in New York, the line of how small they actually are.
They're small, but they are
they're gorgeous.
And it's important to note that when Jamie says his sister, he really means himself.
Okay, tone down the attitude, please.
You want to go to Marvel?
Marvel?
Yeah.
Big Civil War month.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Change books.
Yeah, mentioned Flash.
Yeah, it's coming.
Are you going to get Frontline? I mean, the first issue is only 75 cents, so that's kind
What
of...
sucks is they have both,
It's one of those double ship
hate
months.
that.
I hate that shit. But
because they
Oh, I
wrap you
know.
up into 2 issues if you
Yeah.
order them, and then
Right,
the next month is probably the same way. 'cause
It is.
I think it's
They have no
bi-weekly,
ads
right?
in them.
I
I don't
know.
like that double ship stuff either anymore.
I think that and the tie-ins, I'm going to pick them up or look through them at Golden Eagle and see if they're worth picking up.
Yeah, but I'm ordering them because
Right.
this is my Infinite Crisis.
Get ready. It's
So you
gonna
better
just
have
get
the answer
more
to
and
every question we come up with then, Brian.
Yeah, I read all the issues so far. I couldn't really tell you what happened.
more.
Although I was a little miffed. I don't know. So I bought the issues and I read them in the order that they're listed on this little checklist thing. So I got Amazing Spider-Man 530, Fantastic Four 536, and then the Illuminati special. And I read them in that order. What's the first thing that happens in Amazing Spider-Man is they have a little flashback that says, "See the Illuminati issue
saw
for
that.
what happens here." It's like, but this is the one on the list first that I'm supposed to read first. So how is that one?
It's in alphabetical
Flashing-
order, though, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
not.
but-
It's
but-
not an order. It's just
Well,
alphabetical.
how would I know? I mean, I would assume this would be the order because this is the order they're
Where are the
listed in.
fucking asterisks?
Exactly. Already, I was
You
like,
gotta
God
stop
damn it.
assuming, man.
Because I got my little Marvel previews out and I went and said, "Oh, which one do I read first?" Okay, I read that one first. And then, God
See?
damn it, the first thing they do is reference Illuminati, and Illuminati wasn't even out yet when
I was
that
gonna say,
Amazing
that came
Spider-Man
first,
came
right?
out. It's
Yeah.
like, so how the hell can I read it in that order?
I
They
did this.
aren't meant to be read in any order. God damn
They
it, just
have
read
to
them.
be meant to. It's a fucking story. It has
Yes,
to be
you
linear.
read Civil War 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All the rest just stick in there somewhere.
Is it 6 or 7?
I think there's
I
7.
know,
Doesn't matter.
I was just saying. I was on a rant.
I agree with Jamie.
It's a fucking story though. It has to be linear.
So we got
F-bombs are dropping like
It is in Civil War 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes, 5, 6, 7, and then all the rest just stick in wherever you
no,
want.
the
Civil
reason
War's not even
why
out yet. I can't read it.
the reason why is because the only reason why that happened is because Spider-Man comes out first. That's what they said at the Civil War panel. It's the only reason why it's kind of slightly out of order.
That's bullshit. They should
Bullshit.
figure out.
Bullshit.
You, fuck you.
Okay, relax.
Earmuffs.
Uh,
I think that goes without saying as soon as my name is in
Shot-
the beginning.
Giant Size Hulk #1. There's some kind of untold tale between him and the Champions, which I thought might be kind of interesting. Even though those Giants, they give you like 16 pages of story and the rest is all reprints, but there's something kind of interesting about that.
Our buddy Dan Slott doing Marvel Westerns, The Two Gun Kid.
What else do we have? We have Marvel Team Up The Losers trade paperback for after the discount, $8.39.
Oh yeah, that's on the list. No question about it.
I'm a loser.
And Daredevil hardcover volume 5, which I'll be picking up.
The Eternals hardcover, Jamie, $37.50, 50% off.
Yeah, still not worth it. $16.99 essentials. That's the best you can. That's the most you should have to pay for those issues. Kirby not at his best.
I'm gonna get it.
I know you just spite me.
Yep. Nah, I'm gonna get it because it's oversized too. I want to see some of that stuff oversized. I think it'd be fun. That way I don't have to
You
look
getting-
for it in all the back issues. I can just get it.
I like this page that they have in here for the Marvel Civil War where Elmo's attacking Spider-Man.
No.
The girl's throwing her Elmo doll at him.
Are you gonna get the Eternals, the new series?
No.
I want to get it, but because it has John Romita Jr. artwork in it, I want to have it in a trade or a hardcover more than I want to have the issues. Because I know they'll do a hardcover, so
Right,
I'll just
right.
buy the hardcover
That's what I figured too.
because he's my favorite. So I gotta. he needs to be preserved.
Again, that it also kind of annoys. I know I'm critical of Marvel. I should just shut up. But one of their hype things for Eternals, the new Neil Gaiman hype, was like, you're gonna smack yourself when you find out who the artist is. I love John Romita Jr., but I thought they were gonna get somebody like that hasn't ever done comics before or was never at Marvel before, something like that. And I was like, okay,
Some coup was going to happen.
I thought something big. Yeah, John Romita Jr. great, and I love the page that he has there. It's really cool.
Jack Kirby back from the dead.
Yeah, like
Long lost pages
channeled
found.
through Steve Root or something like that. What else is there?
That would have been very disappointing for me.
I'm actually adding Young Avengers to my list because
Good.
of
About time.
I haven't read the first trade, but they're getting into that whole Family Matter storyline. It's kind of tying into all the
You
cosmic
can borrow
stuff.
that first trade
Yeah,
from me.
I will.
if you-
Nobody's ever said this? Does anybody? Well, you read Young Justice.
Yeah.
Do you get a Young Justice vibe from that because of the whole Vision as the android, like Red Tornado was, and there's a Hawk Girl?
I don't think it's quite as
No, not that. Just the
team up.
the lineup, yeah. Because now
Little
they have
bit.
that
The
Arrow
female
Girl
Arrow
and
girl.
she-
Yeah, kind of.
because that's what I. As soon
I
as
don't
started
think
reading
of it that way though, since that's so far gone.
Oh
now.
yeah, and
I
it's
mean,
so different in its style.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, I could see the similarity, but I don't associate it together.
so that's going on my list.
For me, I love the Champions, the classic trade. Although I think that's a perfect Essentials. So
Because you said there's not many. Are there other issues after that?
there
or-
are what is it? 1 through 11. I think there are maybe only 8 more that I can. Or I think it only went up to like 18 or 19. Now I could be wrong on that, but I know there's also a crossover with Supervillain Team Up that they did a whole big crossover with like Magneto and Doctor Doom and all that.
Howard Chaykin doing New Avengers,
Yeah.
the Civil War crossover.
That means Captain America is going to look like American flag.
Well, he looks right there's a picture of him, Captain
Mhm.
America.
Be a Reuben flag. That's
When
Captain
does
America.
Big tall egghead.
when does Brubaker take over at Uncanny?
It's Ultimate? Oh, is he taking over Uncanny?
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
I can't come soon enough because even after the whole decimation, I still ended up not buying any of the X books other than those ancillary titles because those were just like little things that interested me. And the main universe, though, I'm still not buying. I figure when Brubaker starts Uncanny, I'll give it a try. But it's like Claremont writing Uncanny. I mean, come
I guess
on.
after Deadly Genesis, I guess he'll come on after sometime.
Well, he's
after
definitely on the way out because his Claremont's Gen Next
It's coming
stories comes out in this issue.
Yeah, whatever the hell that is.
I have no idea.
It's like New Mutants updated, and so it seems like.
There's a new printing of Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the trade.
Here's the thing number 8 where everyone's sitting around playing poker.
Oh, the one that he was talking about.
Yeah.
A Marvel milestone first.
Hey, you had the bachelor party a while back. Yeah, why not play a game of poker?
Hey, Marvel Adventure Spider-Man Volume 3 Digest, all penciled by Mike Norton.
Cool.
It's only $6.99
$4.
for 4 comics, and then with a discount, it's much cheaper.
I keep wondering when Exile's World Tour is going to end. Like now they're going to the Heroes Reborn universe. I'm like, oh, come on.
You see that there is a Heroes Reborn event coming out?
No.
Jeff Loeb and Rob Liefeld.
Yep.
10-year anniversary.
April Fools.
No, it's not an April
Really?
Fool's. It's on. I've seen it. I've seen pictures. If it is, it's a hell of an April Fool's. They went a long way to do it.
It should be an April Fool's then.
Essential She-Hulk.
Did anybody read that Supreme Power Nighthawk?
Nope.
That miniseries?
Can't say that I did.
I want to get that. I've been getting all that stuff from that universe so far.
There's from Image the Fear Agent trade. It's got $9.99. It's $4.99 after the discount for the first 4 issues, I think it is. So I'm gonna get that. I was waiting for since I missed the issues. I was like, I guess I got to get the trade on that.
I was just flipping through Image and see the Sidekick by Paul Jenkins.
It's 4 issues.
It looks kind of fun.
And another Walking Dead hardcover. Instead of being like the ultimate mega edition, this is just the first 2 trades collected in one hardcover. For $30.
Well, they know that it's going to sell, so they got to get it out there.
Tell me now that I have the trades.
If we go into...
Doesn't this look like Maximum Glory?
We're giving a shout-out to Maximum Glory, the one Punisher cover. Matt says he looks like him.
Hey,
Issue 34.
Mouse Guard number 3 is coming out.
Yep.
Oh, I gotta find those. I missed the first one.
Mouse Guard number 3, Horrorwood number 2 is on page 229. Werewolves Call of the Wild is on page 312. Cobb number 3 is page 306. Is it 3 or should... No, it should be 2.
Right?
Sorry. And those were Super Teen Topia number 2 is on page 221, and those were all previous Indie Challenge picks. Once we go through, I'll have the new picks for this month as well.
Did anybody ever read Ministry of Space?
No.
Nope.
I always thought that looked so interesting, but I have held off on getting it.
I read the first 1 or 2, and then it didn't come out forever.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of let it go.
I have a question. Does anyone get these the trades for Spider-Man at all?
No.
I'm getting a little sick of... There's some of the older ones that I'm looking for that are out of print, and instead of maybe going back and reprinting some of those, they keep doing the J. Michael Straczynski ones. For the ones that don't seem that hard to get because within the last couple years you could just probably find them wherever. And I think they should go back before they start doing current ones. I feel you're getting kind of cheap.
The current is important to sell the current issues on the stands, but they do. I don't know. Like I guess I'm too much of a completist. Like I like that they trade the popular stories, but then it's like part of me just says, can I just have like the constant run? I mean, they're doing it with the essentials, but it could take forever till you get to some of the current stuff. It's like, how about color? 10-issue trades that just keep going. I don't know. Give me everything.
Hey, how about Spawn Evolution Toys Man of Miracles figure?
Man of Miracles, really?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yep.
He's getting it out there any way he can, I guess.
Interesting.
I guess I'll do the Indie Challenge picks, and you guys can look. Can I borrow a copy, though? Because I need to read some.
How am I going to look?
The first one is on page 221, and this was actually... It was pointed out to us on the forum, and then when I saw it on the previews, I said, you know what? We'll give it a shout-out. Revere number 1 by Ed Loveley and Grant Bond. And the description is, history tells us the signal that blazed to life in the steeple of the Old North Church was to warn of British troops on the move. But in reality, the warning had a more sinister message. Werewolves were coming. Revere tracks a werewolf to a secluded cabin where he's sure he has cornered the beast, but the colonial soon finds himself torn... No, it is colonial, but the colonial soon finds himself torn between upholding his oath to protect the colonies and sparing a young boy's life. 28 pages, full color, 1 of 4. It is cover price at $3.50, and it's marked down 45% off for a cover price of $1.92. And you can see pages of that, at least the first 5, on our forum. I'll put a link to all this stuff in the news section, so you can just go right there. The second one, page 224. Oh, and that's from Alias Enterprises. Second one is page 224. And this is called Midnight Sun, 1 of 5, black and white, 32 pages, by Ben Tal. The year is 1928, and an Italian airship expedition to the North Pole has mysteriously disappeared. As a worldwide search effort gears up, a down-on-his-luck American newspaper reporter is dispatched to the top of the earth to cover the event. The first of a 6 issues, even though they have 1 of 5, series from Eisner nominee Ben Tal. Looked completely very, very different than some of our other choices, so I thought, why not? We'll give that a try. And that is from Amaze Inc. and Slave Labor Graphics. The third indie challenge is Black Plague number 1. It's a one-shot, cover price of $3.99. You can get it off 30% off for $279. It's on page 249. That is from Boom Studios. And let me get to that. Also, by Midnight Sun is 50% off. So a $2.95 book, you'll get it for $1.47. All right, and let's go. Here it is. The Black Plague is by Joe Casey and Julio Basilar. A new one-shot villain book in the vein of Mark Waid's Empire, Mark Miller's Wanted, and DC's Villains United. The mob's going to war with supervillain organization Slash, while the mysterious supervillain known as the Black Plague goes to war with them both. It's a look into the criminal underworld in a superpowered reality as various factions battle for power. And that's the third pick on page 249. And the last one on page 317, it's kind of the antithesis of Cobb. It's called Leading Man, actually on page 318, Leading Man #1 by B. Clay Moore and Jeremy Hawn. There's more to the world's hottest actor than sexy starlets, tabloid gossip, and primo parts, because Nick Walker isn't just a Hollywood hunk, he's also the world's greatest super spy. When a routine investigation off the coast of France turns up a terrorist training facility, Nick Walker must juggle espionage and screen time in the first installment of the sexy, action-packed, full-color miniseries. Mature themes, 24 pages, full color, 1 of 5, cover price of $3.50. This is from Oni Press, and it's also 50% off, so it'll be $1.75. So those four are our new Indie Challenge picks for April. I'll have more information and links on the news site. Check them out. And again, I don't have any prior knowledge to any of these. These are just, except for Revere, which we actually did see some pages for, which was kind of cool. But this is just kind of like going through and like the old days of just walking into a store and looking at the rack and going, you know what? Oh, that looks cool. That cover looks cool. Then you flip through it and boom, you grab it and you go home, and sometimes you like it, sometimes you don't, but it's worth a chance to just try and support these books out. So don't think too much about them. Just, if you like what you hear and you see a couple sample pages, if I'm able to get them, just try them out. Help these guys out. Some of our past indie challenges have really been successful. Horrorwood, those guys are great, and Scar Tissue, those guys are great. Mike is great from Werewolves. I mean, they're all just, it's all for the love of the books, and any way we can help them out would be really cool.
Yeah, it'd be really cool.
What else do we have here? Anybody else see anything else?
That just lost my. That Sidekicks is also put out by Desperado.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Which I thought was kind of cool. That Mouse Guard, was that one of our first indie challenges?
Yep.
I don't know how the hell I missed that. I must have been dead that day.
It was really good.
That's what everyone tells me. And
Yeah.
I saw it at Lems and I didn't pick it up, and I wish I would have.
It's been getting a lot of feedback.
I like the sound of that Midnight Sun.
Yeah.
That one.
It looked different, it really looked really different from what we're used to. So I said, you know what, let's give it a try. In the magazine section, there is a Bo Smith interview in Sketch Magazine number 30. There's also a new thing that Tomorrow's is putting out, and Tomorrow's and back issue, called Rough Stuff, where they're taking all those pictures that they have in their magazines. They probably have files of them, and they're just it's all just pencil work from different artists. That's on page 367. And let's see, is that it?
They also have that parody magazine coming out.
Yeah, I
What's
saw that.
called?
Comic Book Nerd.
Yeah.
That one?
Yeah, I don't think I'll be getting that. Like, we don't get enough. We're not poked at enough, with fun and all that.
Yeah.
So.
For those old time Muppet Show Palisade figure fans, Lee's Toy Review is coming out, shipping June 2006. Number 165 is a Muppets guide inside, so I'm curious to see how detailed they get with that, considering I feel like I know pretty much every figure that they put out. So
Oh yeah,
I'll be getting that.
send in corrections.
Yeah, you screwed that up, man.
Is that it?
I think that's all.
Pretty much all on my list, other than the usual stuff. But as far as standout stuff,
Back in the merchandise, if you like baseball caps, there's a nice looking. It's just a picture drawing, but I go for like the one size fits all, like almost fitted hats. There's a nice Flash one back there that I saw.
Flash.
That was funny when you said
Yeah.
that. You said baseball cap. I was like, Like a bottle cap? I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Because I'm so used to hearing baseball hat. I haven't heard anyone refer to a hat as a cap for like
I've always called it a baseball
years,
cap.
and I was like, I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
Oh, that's funny.
It took me like a good 10 seconds.
Hey, does
to
anyone want a
process.
soda pop or anything while
Yeah, exactly.
Got your tennis shoes on? If you're a fan of Jim Lee or George Perez, they're both doing covers on Red Sonja number 12. So, of course, I'm going to have to get that stupid thing just because of the Perez
Did
covers.
you see the Mary Jane Watson Bowen
Oh,
statue?
no.
Looks
That's nice, yeah.
Yeah, it's real nice.
She's got a hell of
She's
a
got the-
grin on her.
When she's got the Spider-Man mask
You
on.
would too if you had that body.
That's right.
Look at me, I am beautiful.
Kevin Order 3.
Probably.
Well, don't blame him. I have a
Yeah, I
thing
know.
for redheads.
Are you
That's
gonna
what
get
is. No.
Let's see how you do this time, Peter.
Was it last time he got them all or last time he got stumped?
I don't remember. Because both happened. We
Yeah,
recorded
real
twice.
close.
Yeah, I got real close to getting all three and then got zapped.
Here's one from Steve Reed. Brian Boland's first professional work was in 1975 for a Nigerian superhero. What was his name?
Is that a superhero in Nigeria or a Nigerian superhero?
It says Nigerian superhero.
Whoa. No idea.
Power Man. I don't know if that's the Power Man we know or if it's another Power Man who is some Nigerian comic book character. I don't know.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any explanation.
Okay.
Number 2, John History of Violence Wagner wrote a post-apocalyptic miniseries for Marvel's Epic line. What is it called?
Who's the author again?
John Wagner.
John Wagner. No idea.
The Last American.
Nope, never heard of it.
Question number 3. Garth Ennis wrote this story before his American adventures in comic book writing about the troubles in Northern Ireland for the mature British comic book Crisis. He also wrote the sequel for A Few Troubles More. What was the original story called?
I'm Irish. Where's my beer?
Oh, boy.
Please send your emails
Sounds
to
like it-
Peter Rios at Comic Geek Speak.
Sounds like it would be a take on a Clint Eastwood movie title.
Fistful of Troubles.
No, that was my answer.
Troubled Souls.
No.
He actually has a fourth question here, so I guess I'll ask you.
Okay.
I think he's got some bonus thing. Long before he illustrated The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, Kevin O'Neill, with writer Pat Mills, created an alien resistance fighter for the British weekly anthology 2000 AD. Name the strip. Hint, it was reprinted in the U.S. by Eagle Quality Comics. His artwork was so anarchic that it was banned by the Comics Code Authority.
That's not that martial law stuff, is it?
Might be.
Martial law.
Answers: Nemesis for Warlock for 2000 AD and Martial Law for Epic.
What was his bonus question?
Oh, the
I
actually
thought
the
that was
bonus
it.
was name the anti-hero Mills and O'Neill created for the Marvel's Epic line. So you actually answered the bonus question, not the regular question. Oh, he says now for some normal questions. 'Cause those were-
Jesus.
Oh, okay. Those were all British creator questions.
Mhm.
So now he's got the regular Marvel DC. In.
Raking me over the coals here.
April Fool's.
Yeah, really.
Name the race of alien warriors that forced Superman to fight Muhammad Ali.
Oh. I don't no idea.
The George Formians.
Yeah, there you go.
The Scrub.
Scrolls.
Marvel. Name Howard the Duck's constant companion.
Oh, what's her name? I assume that's who they're thinking
Leah
of.
Thompson.
Leah Thompson, yeah. Oh, is her name April? Amy? The hell's her name?
That's
Andy?
Ninja Turtles. April.
Yeah, April.
Oh, is it?
O'Neil.
Okay, hold on. Leah Thompson. I don't know.
Beverly Switzer.
Beverly! Damn it. I wouldn't have gotten the last name, though.
Indy. Name the spirit's helper partner. Name his main love interest. And what is the spirit's real name?
Denny Colt. That's all you're getting. That's 3 questions right there. It's like I'm answering like 10 questions. This whole thing. 1 question per thing. People. Who is Clark Kent? Batman operates in. That's a question. That's a freaking thesis. Jesus Christ.
Settle down.
No, it's like
He gets angered when he gets spanked by the listeners, doesn't he?
I'm like bombarded. Where did the Hulk become the Hulk? What size shoe did he have on? And how many people were watching? Jesus Christ. Denny Colt.
That's correct. Ebony was the helper.
All right.
And Ellen Dolan.
The racially insensitive supporting cast character that was Ebony.
Ooh,
Yeah.
can't-
Oof.
oh,
Oof.
That's like a monkey. I'm serious.
Yeah.
It's not-
And they still, but they reprinted. You know,
well,
they did reprint it.
You got it. That's
Yeah.
it's a sign of the times. It's not
Yeah.
really. At the time, it wasn't. To be taken as a racial slur. It was. It's just the way they did it.
Yeah.
All right, so you got one.
Send me your address, punk. If I get multiple questions again, I'm going to flip out.
Really? Tell us how you really feel.
They send them multiple questions, please.
Yeah, everything's going to be multiple. We should announce that May 6th, Free Comic Book Day, we're going to be at, well, some of us are going to be at Golden Eagle Comics. We don't know quite sure what we're going to do yet, but we want to announce it and open it up to people to come down.
Probably going to try to do something in the afternoon. It's Saturday, so that if we want to go out to dinner afterwards or someplace, we can do that. And that way, it won't be quite as late for you all you people driving from Connecticut and all that to get back. So just stay tuned. We'll have more, definitely have more information as it goes on.
What time does he normally open on a Saturday?
10.
Saturday's 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
The mall hours are 10 to 9. So, like I said, we'll probably be there when it opens, and he's going to have some other stuff. I know he's trying to get some guests in, and I'll just see what he does, see what happens. And this was on his invitation. He invited us. We didn't set this up.
Does he order the free comic book?
Yes.
Does he order a lot of them? Or just
I'm
enough of
going
them?
to talk to him. I want to see how much he has ordered, because I was going to try to get him to order some of the stuff that you don't normally see ordered, some of like the top shelf stuff. And just because they're friends. I know he's going to have all the Dark Horse, the DC, the Marvel, the Image. Last year, I know HeroClix had sent him a whole bunch of stuff.
Yep.
He had some promotional HeroClix stuff, and we'll see what happens. I don't know if there's going to be some kind of sale. I can't imagine him not doing this and not having a sale of some sort. So come on out. It's going to be fun. I'm sure he'll have snacks and all that kind of fun stuff.
Oh, yeah. He told me the other day how he wanted to set everything up.
So,
cool. So it's an event. So come on down and celebrate Free Comic Book Day with us here in Reading.
So we'll probably do a podcast. It'll probably be, if not a full-blown one, we'll probably at least have our iRivers and do some interviewing of some people.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so do that.
Another little announcement. Brian and I were interviewed for the Ink Slayer's Den. And you can go see that short interview at groups.myspace.com/the Ink Slayer's Den. And you can also go to our MySpace page at www.myspace.com/comicgeekspeak.
What exactly are they?
He's an inker, and he talks comics, basically, and he tries to do some interviews here and there, and Jared is the guy who runs it, and I think he might have found us through MySpace, through one of the friends on there.
Yeah.
And
they came one of my friends, too.
Cool. And he loves the show, and he just wanted to give us a little spotlight for the people that he sends out his messages for.
Very cool.
And I guess I could remind people about our doing the Flickr picture thing. If you're drawing stuff that you put on the forum, you can also put it onto there's a Flickr group called CGS Fan Art, and then we also have a CGS group called Comic Geek Speak that you can put stuff if you go to conventions and take pictures. And then we have the official Comic Geek Speak gallery, which is stuff that we put up that you can look at on Flickr if you want.
Do you have any voicemails you can keep?
I got voicemails. I already have them queued up.
Oh, we'll go right ahead.
How about that? Oh my.
Bullshit detective. Engage bullshit deflectors immediately. Whew, mercy! Did somebody fart? Or is that bullshit I hear? Warning! Warning! Someone's blowing smoke. Activate your rectum fire analyzer. You're talking at your ass, blowing smoke. It's getting deep in here. That's no joke. There's a bullshitter in here somewhere. Pay attention to the PS alert and deflection so you don't get hurt. Before you get me with another PS5, go to www.bullshitdetective.com.
What?
Excuse me. Could you please turn around? I can barely hear you when you're talking out your ass.
Okay.
Sure, it's one of those little things that you press buttons and then all these little bullshit
That's
things.
what it's yeah. Okay, let's try another
Wow,
one.
we got some
Little
listeners with a lot of
This
time
one's
in
for
here.
you. It's true that Mavis and Sybil have ways that are winning, and Prudence and Gwendolyn say are outspinning. Phoebe's delightful, Maud is disarming, Janet's Felicia, Lydia charming, Cynthia's dashing, Vivian's sweet, Stephanie's smashing, Priscilla a treat, Veronica, Nosebit, Agnes, and Jane, convivial company time and again, Drooks and Phyllis and Glennis are sorts, and all agree all three jolly good sports. The cream of the crop, tip of the top, it's Amy Jane Liff, and there I stop.
A little love letter to the little witch.
I guess so.
Suddenly we are an answering service.
Hi, Geeks. Mike Lewis. I'm Iculus on the CGS forum, and I just wanted to call. I'm sitting here waiting for my daughter to come out from piano lessons, and as I've been sitting here waiting, I just finished reading issue number 4 of Loveless from Vertigo. Thought I'd give you a quick opinion of it. This is a good book, and it's really close to being a great book. The problem with it is Marcelo Frusin's art just doesn't work for this book, and I'm not really sure exactly what the problem is. A lot of the characters look too much alike. That's one problem. You have to sometimes go back and look at things over and over to figure out who's who. The colorist, which is Patricia Mulvihill, no idea whether I'm pronouncing either of these names right, also does a fairly good job of distinguishing flashback from the current action by a little bit of a change in the shading of the colors. But I think a little more of that would make the action a little clearer. I don't want to sound like I'm completely negative on this book, though, because I am really enjoying it. Azzarello is telling a fantastic story, and I'm sticking around. Love to hear what you guys think about it. Thanks a lot. Keep up the good work.
Anybody read it?
Nope.
There's your answer.
I've wanted to, I just haven't gotten around to getting it.
Yeah, same with me.
Yeah, I like that excuse too.
So many books, so little time.
Yep.
So little money.
Doesn't have capes. I don't want to read it. No.
That was, did you read any of that thread on the forum about the guy said he overheard in his comic shop some guys talking about, I forget the gist, but there were how there's so much that they have to buy from Marvel and DC that they just can't afford to get any independents at all, and they just kind of wish the independents would go out. They said they wish the independents would just go out of business so it would make their decision easier.
Jesus.
Because they wouldn't have to regret not buying independents because there just wouldn't be any. And then it spawned this whole discussion about, how do you and of course everybody has very different opinions about how to balance the main two versus the rest of them, and there was some people were saying, look, you vote with your wallet, and if you are constantly complaining about these 17 crappy X books, why are you buying all 17 of the crappy X books? That tells Marvel that you think you like them, so then they keep making more, and then next month there's 18. So if you don't like them, don't buy any of them. But then there's the completists who say, well, it doesn't matter. I have all Uncannies since 1987. I have to keep buying it even though it sucks. And so how do you balance that with what's good, with how many independents you want to buy, with, what if like DC is launching so many new series and they all look so good. They all have wonderful creative teams, and it's like, even I want to buy them, and I'm not even a DC guy. And if I do choose to buy them, it means that my money has to go there, and I can't buy something else, whether it's Marvel or DC or indie. So it's like, it's like 5 or 6 page thread.
Wow.
And it got very heated, at some points, and then other points it was people trying to make, it's a really tough call. I mean, personally, the independents suffer because I feel, I'm very heavily invested in the Marvel universe, and I want to read the stuff I want to read. Now, to my support, I don't buy any of the X books because I think they all suck, or whatever. And so I don't buy stuff when it gets crappy, but the problem is right now there's a lot of good stuff. And so I cut. I mean, pretty much the only independents I order are the ones that are on our Indie Challenge, and everything else it's kind of like, it might be really good. I'm not saying it's not good, but I just, I don't have the money for it.
Yeah, and hurry up and check that thread out before Peter deletes it. I get irritated when there's being a Batman fan is every month there's at least 3 different miniseries going on at once, all at different sections and that try to limit the stuff to just one. Let one play out before you start up a new one, and I can't speak for
money in the bank though.
Yeah, I can't speak for, and even Spider-Man now has so many different books with X-Men, and you can't tell me there's a reason why you need every single one of those books titles out there. They can't cut it down to just the essential.
It's also on a retailer level. I mean, listen to, we've heard a couple, horror stories about retailers who have absolutely no idea what's coming out, and if they know that an X book sells, they're just going to order it. Yeah. They'll fill out their orders of people who have pull lists, and then they'll order that many more copies and stick them on the shelf. Same thing with Batman. They know it sells.
I will say with Batman, I mean, as much as I love Batman, I have really, in the last couple of years, cut down all the superfluous miniseries that have come out. I don't agree with them always. I don't like them all. I'm try to be very selective with my Batman miniseries.
You have to be.
Well, and the same goes for like X-Men now and Spider-Man too. God, I don't even really get a regular Spider-Man title. I get my Spider-Man fix in Avengers, which is kind of sad, but.
Well, and with Batman, to me, the whole idea of the Legends of the Dark Knight was really, that's where you put those miniseries type storylines in. You just have, it's kind of the untold stories. Rather than have 5 going on at once, plus the Legends, plus Detective, plus, just put it all into one title, so that in that way, it does kind of save you, that you can look for other stuff that you can, so all your money isn't just going for one character. You can spread it out to other stuff to try new things. I
think the problem with that debate is when it starts to get into assumptions of which books are better than others. That's when you start. That's probably I stayed out of that thread because I didn't want to
shut it down.
No,
well,
I just didn't want to get into the mix. Sometimes
in,
the debate's too.
Some people were saying, which I don't agree with it. You have to support indies. You have to buy some because you have to keep the movement alive. And it's like, well, I buy what I like, and that's not to say that there aren't indies that I would like. It's just that I don't know I like them because I haven't read them yet, because I didn't choose to spend the money on there. Because when I walk into the comic shop, any comic shop, and I walk up to the Marvel section, a little spark ignites in me. I can't explain it. I don't know why it happens. It's just 20 years of buying and reading Marvel comics, and I get very happy when I see the Marvel shelf. And so those are the ones that I choose to buy.
As happy as a little girl.
It's exactly right. I can't explain it. It's just, I'm sure it's the same way Peter feels when he walks up to the DC shelf. There's this little thing inside that goes, wow, I love looking at this shelf. And I walk past the indies and I go, well, that looks cool, and that looks cool, and that looks cool. But it's very easy to say no because I haven't read it yet.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know.
Take the plunge.
I know, but I don't have the money to take the plunge.
Yeah, back off on the extra crap.
I don't have any extra crap. That's what I'm saying. There's so much good stuff.
And that's the other assumption is they assume that everything you're reading is crap, so you should drop something. But it's not. This is all stuff I want to read. So.
Yeah, exactly. As soon as I'm real quick to cut anymore. I didn't used to be, but now it's like, man, as soon as I don't like it, it's gone. I don't even hesitate anymore, and I don't feel the completist nature anymore. I don't feel like I need to keep buying something even because I had it. Nope. So, I mean, look at all those new series from DC. I'm buying so many of them. They just look good. Now they might end up not being good, but then I'll drop them.
Yeah.
What I think
quandary.
I think in the last year, especially, I've done a better job at looking at independents, but it's also come to my attention more. So I'm reading more independents, and mostly some Marvel stuff suffers, but it's still not enough independents that it's not like 30 books or something. It's like 5. You know, it's not a whole lot that's swaying me.
I had one of our listeners actually email me and said something to the nature of, love your podcast. Can you do a little bit more to focus on independence and blah 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 blah. And I emailed him back and I said, well, I think we get a bum rap on that because we do a hell of a lot of interviews with a lot of people that are doing independent books, and we do the indie challenge, and we take suggestions and things like that. And then he emailed me back and he said, you know what? I had to step back and really look at your podcast. And he goes, you know what? You're right. You are basically a podcast that deals in the mainstream comics. You're not hiding that fact from people. You're not, it's not like you're giving false advertisement. And then he said, you know what? After I thought about it, you're right. You do what you are able to do with the amount of knowledge that you have. If we don't have the knowledge of this stuff, of course we're not going to talk about it. Like when he says about this love list. Nobody in here read it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bullshit and you go, oh, yeah, I'm really interested in getting it. I want to get it because it's Brian Azzarello, blah, 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 blah. No, I just so under my radar. If you enjoy it, great. Other people, listeners out there, will email and say, yep, I agree with it. Great. I'd rather have that kind of conversation than just, blowing smoke up your ass.
And I do my best to pick up things that I do like. I'm not going to stop getting all DC and Marvel just to try everything in independent. I mean, you can't take the plunge and get everything. So, like we said, we do what we can. I get a few more titles. I get a half dozen maybe now of different titles of independence that I never would have thought of. And that satisfies me. And that's right now, that's all I feel like I need to satisfy me. It's not to say I won't try it or things won't change, I won't get more, but I still can't ever see myself saying, okay, you know what, this is all crap and I'm just going to get independence because it doesn't.
Because it's not all crap.
Yeah, it's
At
not.
least right now it's not.
It's absolutely not all
I think
crap.
there's a lot of great stuff coming out from every corner of the
That's
comic
the problem.
universe. Yeah.
For Shane,
it is hard.
Yeah.
For Shane, it just means his boys aren't going to be looking at college because their college fund is gone.
I have 11 or 12 independent, self-published, whatever you want to call them, titles just for April alone. That's more than... I mean, I know it's only... People are, it's only 11. But that's like 8 more than I had probably 2 months
That's
ago.
11 more than I had a year ago.
Yeah.
Pretty soon it'll be goodbye community college, hello trade school.
But it is all good,
Nah, he'll just sell them before that.
No.
It's all good stuff, and you got to pick and choose what you read. Not everybody reads the same novels. Not everybody reads the same TV.
Good heavens,
You don't
if you tried to try every novel, oh my god, my head would explode.
Exactly. So it's where you want to go to.
I kind of think that's kind of a difficult argument as well because you have DC and Marvel, so you pretty much have. When you say independent, that's just not one publisher you're talking about. I mean, that's a broad span. I mean, that's more titles than you could have it just one of DC or Marvel. So
and
now who do you say? Do you give every single company a try? Do you just stick to one? So the argument can be split down even further.
It's a real fine line between small press, self-published, indie. I mean, it's all under independent for me.
I don't read any Vertigo title. I don't read any Icon title. I don't read hardly any Wildstorm. So it's not.
The Vertigo, I guess I get the Bike Club stuff, but I like vampires, so
Somebody had an off the rack. They said they wanted. Did you say?
Yeah, I got an off the rack. I finally got to finish Wanted. It was pretty good. I did find the swearing to be excessive. It just seemed to be there for the sake of being there. Hey, I'm telling you.
What were we?
Who changed mats on us?
No. It kind of, after a while, I like just to kind of reflect on something else on Nightwing, not to the last real storyline before the whole 1 year later. He just kept telling all these different people that he's no longer a hero type of thing. And to me, after a while, it wasn't so much to tell them, it was just to try to convince himself. And in a way, that's how I got with the swearing. That after a while, Gibson was saying it not because he can say it, but almost as a way of convincing himself that he is free. He does have this. He's in this fraternity. It got to the point where it was almost he was doing that to overcompensate, to convince himself, this is who he was. So from that aspect, I was just like, oh, I mean, it just they were saying it just for the sake of saying it, and I couldn't believe it. And then I just finished up that trade paperback World Without Superman. I'd say it's a filler between the death and the returns. Comparing it with the Nightfall series, Night Quest was way too long of a filler between the Nightfall and the Night's End, and this was just another filler, but it was greatly condensed. I really didn't find it that interesting, but
imagine reading that as it was coming out, because they were coming out weekly, so it wasn't. It wasn't as long as you think, because there were like 3 titles that it was 4 titles.
There's only 8 parts, I believe.
Yeah. So in a matter of 2 months, it was but
done.
Yeah, it was.
They could have just did a one shot type of thing. His body was stolen, and then go from there. But
yeah,
in the grand scheme of it all, like when you put it all together, it makes much more sense, and it feels like a better story than reading it like that, probably.
Well, and I read the trades first. I read the Return, then I read the Death, and then I read.
Backwards.
Aye.
Anything else, Jamie? You had something you want to say, right?
I had a slight rant. And
starting to be a regular feature.
Yes.
What's the deal?
What's the deal? Just got done catching up with Green Lantern, and so that for me that was the second part of the Mongol story, and the Batman. And in the Mongol story, again we had a gratuitous death. And I just want to know what the hell, and I hope he listens to us, what the hell is going through Jeff Johns' mind, and why he seems to want to keep showing us gratuitous deaths. Started with Blue Beetle, and you all know how I felt about the Blue Beetle death. It followed into Infinite Crisis with Superboy just tearing through and tearing apart and burning up Titans. And now Mongol punches his sister's head off. Just turns around and punches her head off. Why? Why do we need to keep seeing this? And this was in a code-approved book, which it blew me away. That obviously the code means nothing anymore. And somebody was asleep at the switch. But what's going on, Jeff? Why do you keep showing us these images? Are you trying to desensitize us to it? I just looked at it, I was like, okay, I'm kind of tired of this. Tired of this whole thing. I really am, and I used to have a lot of respect for Jeff's writing, and now it just seems to be, I don't know, maybe he's writing too much, and he's just getting sloppy. It could just be me. I don't know, but shut up over there.
You're not crying about the character, right? You're just
I'm just crying about why do I need to see him punch her head off? I mean, if you want to show him kill her, fine. As far as the storyline went, I thought it was appropriate because of what the character is going through. But why do I have to see it? Why can't it be off camera somewhere? Off panel. He does a boom, and even in a shadow you see something. Why do I have to literally see the head being punched off the body? Why did I have to see Panther's head go rolling down the?
Would it have helped if she was naked?
No. No, there's this. I'm being serious here.
Oh, so am I, because I think we treat violence and sex very differently, and I don't see anything wrong with that when there's so much other things that are.
But it's just why do we have to see it? Why does it have to be constantly?
Because it's fiction, serialized comic fiction.
I'll tell you what, I kind of like it because in a recent comic movie that we saw, when someone got killed, I said, "Oh, look, he got killed Blue Beetle style." So it's kind of I like to use those.
So now it's worked its way into the our icon,
Lexicon?
our, lexicon, yes.
Yes.
So I got done reading it, and I was just like, no, you don't have to keep showing. I mean, does he have some sick fascination with just showing us these images?
That's kind of generalizing. I mean, you're taking three things
comics that the man wrote
out of thousands or hundreds of comics that he's.
But it seems to be a pattern now. I mean,
no.
When it happens once, it's an isolated incident.
But you're also looking at
twice.
But you're also looking at comics that are very high event concept. Like DC Countdown and Infinite Crisis.
All of this.
It's not like it was in Scooby Doo and Powerpuff Girls and something. I mean, these are places that don't you think that kind of stuff.
That I think we should be getting our 10, 11, 12-year-olds into reading. Yes, and I don't think they need to see that.
But 10, 11, 12-year-olds aren't reading that.
But because we can't give it to them. I mean, it's there.
I read Born Again when I was 14, and and people were getting.
I'm sure
I read Watchmen, and what's her name was getting raped, and
Check out some of the video games.
And look how you turned out, Peter.
Yeah,
check out the video games.
Check out the video games.
Are we excusing it because of that? That's no excuse to allow it is no excuse.
But he's not.
Because the video games are doing it, then we have to allow it.
Not because video games are doing it. Because video games are worse, 10 times worse.
But it's still not.
And as a parent, I just wouldn't let my kid read them.
But he's also not. But what you're implying though is that he is by showing that he is saying that it's okay. You know what I mean? Like this is clearly a villain doing this in a very villainous manner, and. He's not applauding it, and he's not, championing that we should go around punching people's heads off.
But he's still showing it. I mean, you can do it. Like I said, you can do all of this stuff. I'm not opposed to this being in the story. I'm opposed to having to see it. I'm opposed to it being front and center rather than off screen or.
What'd you think of Bullseye stabbing Elektra back in 1981, 82?
Wasn't as graphic as this stuff is.
Well, of course, because you can't see it. Back then, it was.
Are we going to break out Crisis again with that one scene with?
No, but it's a whole different thing back then. I mean, it's over 25 years ago almost. That there was a different mentality and a different what we're used to seeing.
So we're excusing it again.
No, it's a different time. Back then, when it was, you didn't have NYPD Blue and the Shield on TV. There was only so far they were allowed to go. But you have to admit. Bullseye stabbing Elektra with her own side is a pretty graphic image at that time.
Yeah, and again, I don't approve of it back then. You didn't need to see it.
I don't think you're going to find many people who are going to agree with you on that.
That's fine. I'm just throwing it out there.
That's never stopped him before.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm just
throwing. I like I said, third time is a pattern, and it's just. I think he's a better writer than that, and I just think he's writing too much.
What about the fact that it's just plain kind of cool? Like, all these people with all these super mega strengths, it's like, if they did punch somebody hard, they would just punch their head right off. It's like, finally we get to see that. You think about it, it's in the back of your head all the time. Yeah. It's like, people fighting all the time. It's like, we always say, well, if Superman wanted to stop somebody, you just throw him into the sun, just hurl him, and they go, well... But you never see that because he's the good guy. But here's a bad guy. It's like, he'll just punch his head off. That solves that problem. Game over. One punch, guy's done. That's interesting to me. I didn't read this comic in question, but as soon as you said it, I'm like, well, that's the first time you ever see. That's cool. The
only way I can
not cool as in like it's fun to look at gross violent stuff. As cool as in that's an interesting concept that we're finally putting down that everyone's maybe thought about a million times reading comics, and there you get to see it. It happened now.
The only way I could kind of justify it from just my own point of view would be, nowadays, without that, this guy's just he's not really that villainous. He won't even take somebody's head off. And now, in this day and age, you need a villain to be a villain, and that means killing people. And to me, if I know what you're saying, where they can still do the same effect, just off panel where you don't see it. But to me, I as a reader, maybe it's just because of my age, I'd feel as though, oh man, they're really dying this down by having it off panel. I mean, I want to see it because then I know that actually to me it's more meaningful if I'm seeing it because then there's no way you could misconstrue what happened. You know, straight out, the head's gone. No coming back off after this one.
Yeah, but to me, the imagination is so much more powerful than having.
Yeah,
to
but once in a
actually
while
see
you
it.
got to see it.
No, you don't. You
Once
take
in a
things on
while
faith.
you do.
You got to take things on faith.
There's no
Not
way.
everything. Why would people go to the movies? You could just read books if you didn't need to see it once in a while.
Well, you don't need to see it. I don't go to movies to see that kind of crap.
No, you go to the movies to see things on the screen. I'm talking about anything. If you're just using your imagination, you could just read a book. But once in a while, you want to go to a movie because you want to see it.
Yeah, but I want to see those
visualize.
images. That's the whole thing. I don't need to see those images.
No. See, now you're mixing things here.
No,
You're
I'm
saying-
not mixing anything.
Yeah, you are.
Did you read that Miracle Man issue?
I'm coming across as the violence is just getting to be over the top in a medium that is meant to span that 12-year-old to that 60-year-old who is reading this book. Now, I'm not talking about an independent book like Wanted, which has its niche as an older book.
Sure.
That I don't want my 12-year-old to read.
Sure.
But if a 21-year-old wants to read it, that's fine. Or 18, if you whatever age you feel as an adult starts at, 18 or 21, that's fine. But when you put it in a book that is you are trying to market to children and trying to get more children to read, and you're trying to do that, you just don't, to me, need those images in the book. It's bad enough, like you're saying, the video games are worse. Well, it's bad enough that they are watching those video games and the parents aren't policing that. They come to the comics and they think, the comics are going to be safe, and then you see this crap coming into the comics, and now the comics aren't safe. So what?
So isn't a better way to look at this is to educate as opposed to stopping? Like if you educate people and tell them that comics aren't necessarily for kids, and that you will that it's a medium that is appealing more to a certain older age group. So isn't it
no, because
more
we want to open
progressive
it for
or not progressive? But
I want it to open it for the fact that I can give.
So there are plenty of comics that you give to your to someone who's younger that
but
doesn't
I want
have that.
Green Lantern as a character to
So
be able
you
to
get
give
the Green
that.
Lantern showcase and you give them that.
But now,
But I don't want to give them to for 60-year-old, something coming out of the 60s for them. I want to be able to give them a Green Lantern of this era that I'm not worried about, that's going to show an image of something that I don't want them to see.
well, let me
Just put a postie over it.
let me pose this. When I was younger, my parents had no problem letting me play with cat pistols, Star Wars guns, anything like that. My mother's friend kept that stuff away from her son. Immensely. Like, over the top. You couldn't even play with a water pistol. So what's the first thing they did when they came over to our place to play when their mother wasn't around? They wanted to play with the guns. So because they didn't have it at all, and they were just told no, that's what they wanted to do. Do you think that's...
So I'm supposed to be able to bring over decapitation pictures to show your children?
No. What I'm saying is, as long as it's in a context that makes sense in the story, I wouldn't have a problem giving that to my son at an appropriate age to read. And it's just what every parent feels is an appropriate age. I wouldn't necessarily hide it from him and say it's never going to be, you're never going to see it, because if he goes to someone's house, that's the first thing he's going to want to see.
It's just a matter. To me, it's just the fact that it is in your face, and it doesn't have to be. Your imagination of that scene, if you see him just throw the punch, and even if they, I hate to say even a blood splatter, or even in the shadows you see that it's taken over, but you don't need to see it right up in front of you.
Jamie,
There are a lot of comics that you've read over the years that had this stuff. So how did you get by all that? I mean, there's been a lot of comics since 1980 that have had this kind of stuff. Like, what?
Not so much as it seems.
Did you ever read that Miracle Man issue where Miracle Man and Kid Miracle Man go at it?
Again,
in London?
Not a book that you're going to give your children. Not a book that's a flagship of a company.
No. Okay. So all right. So because I was only 15 when I read that one, but even the birthing issue, which was like whoa. Daredevil Born Again, Watchmen, DC logo. Again, Daredevil Born Again, Marvel
wouldn't give Watchmen to children.
But it's not a. That's the thing.
But it's not about
and that's
giving,
a whole
like, I read
other
it as a
argument.
kid.
Exactly. That's the whole thing. Nobody gave me those books. I went out and just bought them.
Yeah.
Because see that, I mean, and that's a whole other argument. The whole thing about
argument right there.
the whole comics that they're marketing for younger kids is I just really do not believe that, but that's a whole nother hour and a half. I just don't think DC and Marvel are marketing for younger kids. I just don't see it. And you know what the best thing is when people on the forum,
they should be though. That's no, don't get me because we're going to be dying off soon. I mean, good lord. And
but what I was going to say is the best thing I love when I get the emails or when I see in the forum when Maxim Glory has his son reading the showcases, and when other people tell that they list what they bought for the week and they said, this is for me, this is for my son, and this is for both of us. Like, that's how you get younger readers, by somebody getting you into reading the comics. So, when my uncle handed me a beer box of comics, that was how I got into comics. Not that I saw DC or Marvel. I saw a DC or Marvel poster and I went, "Oh, I'm going to read comics." You know what I mean? It's like I don't think that.
Now with my son, my sons, I have a 4-year-old. When we go to the comic store, I get him a Johnny DC book or a Marvel Adventures book. At some point, he's going to get out of that age, and a lot of the stuff that I read now is not appropriate for him. So then I'm going to go back to like the Justice League Giffen stuff, or some of the now showcase stuff, or some of the other more tame things I read as a kid that I know or feel are more safe for him. And then when he probably gets about 14, 15, which is when I got into reading comics, that's when I'll start like giving him other stuff and seeing and it also depends on how he grows up, how he handles certain situations or things as he grows up. I mean, a lot of that is based on what you as a parent, and maybe it's a fault of parents, deem your child mature enough to read.
But
because
you, Shane, are not the typical parent. That's the whole thing.
Let's not get into the whole parent.
Because we're going to a different place, and that's where you took the conversation.
Yeah, but
no. I'm putting it back on myself as a kid, as a reader.
I'm just saying Shane took it to that point.
Yeah, but shouldn't I count because I am a parent, and just because I read comics doesn't mean I'm going to...
No, but you are not the typical parent as far as that goes. You read the comics. You know what is in those comics. A child that walks into a 12-year-old that walks into... And 12-year-olds shouldn't be seeing this stuff. That walks in and sees a Green Lantern on the shelf, code approved, and in it, they're punching somebody's
head off. But you know what?
That
code meant nothing to my parents when I started reading comics. They knew nothing about that.
I knew nothing about it.
There's a code?
And you know what? They don't even know about it because obviously it's been it's like a defunct kind of thing.
But shouldn't that be back on parents then to police what their kids take
that's
more?
That's a whole other story.
But so the responsibility isn't on DC. The responsibility is on the parents.
Or Jeff Johns.
You're putting it on DC and Jeff Johns, and that's the wrong person.
That's not their job. I mean,
yes, it is, because they can tell the story in a different way that they don't have to show.
And that just all boils down to personal preference.
I don't.
All opposed,
Jamie. I have to say, sometimes I can look at Playboy, but the imagination only goes so far. I need to see the porn, the porno. That's the best way I can illustrate it.
Interesting way to look at it.
Oh.
Sometimes. For me, it's all the time. Playboy.
I know. I'm tripping over the stuff every time I come in the place.
We wrap it up?
I think so.
Yeah.
This is going to be a huge thread on the forum now.
Oh, I know.
Peter will delete it. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm counting on that.
Well, if you want to put porn on my forum, yes, I will delete it. So F you. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Meanwhile, go buy your Maxim.
It was FHM.
Whatever. Erica Durant's number 38 before. Who was after? Oh, God, so stupid. Hi, Hazel.
Anyway, Erica Durant has the highest ranked new entry on the list for FHM.
Hillary Duff was before her or something like that?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
Speaking of porn. Okay. This episode was sponsored by www.wildpigcomics.com. This weekend, from noon to Saturday, April 8th, to noon on Sunday, April 9th. Every item on the sales floor, 50% off. You can call 908-936-0004. You can get directions, www.wildpigcomics.com. Thanks to Chris and Ryan. And directions are, it's 14 South Michigan Avenue in Kenilworth, New Jersey. Minutes from Route 22 East in the Garden State Parkway, exit 138.
Thank you, Peter. To send us an email, it's comicgeekspeak@gmail.com, and visit our website at comicgeekspeak.com. To leave a voicemail, the number is 206-888-4805. And thanks to UpAllNightGaming.com for hosting the website. And it's April now, and we're doing a serious push. Podcast Alley, we want your votes. We want 500 votes. Okay, it only takes 2 seconds. I even set up an easier link. You can go to comicgeekspeak.com/vote, and that'll take you right where you need to go. And a reminder that we are brought to you in conjunction with worldfamouscomics.com, your spot on the internet for the best comic book and entertainment-related columns, contests, features, reviews, news, resources, and more. And as always, we are uniting the world's mightiest heroes, one listener at a time.